The mindset you need to build a brand. Let me ask you something you might not have said out loud. Have you ever looked at your sketches or samples or website draft and many things in your business and thought, who do I think I am? Or why would anyone buy from me? Probably second guessing yourself plenty of times. Or what if I launch and nobody is watching, nobody is following me, nobody is buying from me? Or maybe you've quietly been carrying this belief that I'll start once it's perfect, once I've figured everything out, once I feel ready. If that's you, take a breath. You're not broken. You're not too sensitive. You're not the only one. I'm Bhavna, founder of Build the Dream brand, and for over 20 years, I've been helping founders, artists, and fashion startups launch and scale brands from museums like B&A, department stores to first-time founders who started with nothing but an idea, artwork, or in sketch. And in this episode of the good, the bad, and the ugly of building the brand, I want to walk you through the mindset shifts that separate the founders who make it from the ones who quietly give up. Because building a brand is not just about a strategy, it's about how you think, how you talk to yourself, and how you keep going when it would be easier to walk away. Let's start with something that most of us suffers from: perfectionism. Perfectionism disguises itself as high standards. You tell yourself, I just want it to be perfect and good. I launch when it looks as polished as that other brand you may have seen online. I'll post when I have the time to script every word. But what perfectionism really does is it delays your dreams. Sometimes you don't even start because you are in that mode of, I need this to be great for me to show up to anybody else or online. It keeps you stuck in endless tweaking of logos or websites or redoing shoots or creating content because something does not feel right. Your brain does not let you go ahead of that spiral where you're just looking for that perfect feed, the perfect website, or the perfect look and feel, holding back ideas that could help people because you're scared of judgment. So it keeps you stuck in that mode for the longest time. But here's the truth: your first collection won't be perfect, your first launch won't be perfect, and your first reels or email, even, or pop ups, none of it will be perfect. And that is exactly how it's meant to be. Progress comes from doing, not from thinking about doing. The founders who move forward aren't the ones with flawless plans. They are the ones willing to show up at 70%. So learn, refine, and try again. Now let's talk about imposter syndrome. The voice that whispers, you're not a real designer, you're not ready yet, you didn't study fashion, other people know more than you, or you're too old, or too young, or too late. Imposter syndrome loves to show up right when you're actually growing. When you invest in your fast samples, or raise your prices, or approach a stockist, or share your face on the camera, here is what I want you to remember. Feeling like an imposter doesn't mean you're not ready. It actually means you are ready. It means you're growing and stretching. You're stepping into a version of yourself you have not fully embodied yet. So try saying this to yourself: I feel like an imposter because I am doing something I have never done before, and that is normal. I don't have to wait to feel 100% confident to take the next step. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving with fear, not obeying it. And if perfectionism and imposter syndrome had a best friend, I would call it comparison. And the comparison trap gets most of us. In the business journey, you'll open an Instagram or TikTok and see brands with huge followings, seamless photos, sold out messages, beautiful campaigns, and founders talking about five-figure launch days. And suddenly your progress feels insignificant. What you don't see is their years of work before this, their failures, their support system, their team. So you are comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. A simple mindset shift that helps instead of thinking she's ahead of me, or he's ahead of me, or they are ahead of me. She is or they are the proof it is possible. If another founder, another creative has built something beautiful that's not a threat, it's a signal. It means there's a space for you too. But here's a part everyone wants to skip. Mostly, it's quite simple to understand, but it's mostly bouncing back when things go wrong. Samples will arrive late, a collaboration might fall through. You might not get the ideal store that you want to stock in your products. A launch might underperform. A reel you poured your heart and soul and spent so much time planning might flop as well. Success is not nothing bad ever happens. I know how to respond when it does. And resilience is a big part of that. It looks like letting yourself feel disappointed without making it mean you're not cut out for this. Asking, what can I learn from this failure? What can I learn from this mistake? Instead of, what's wrong with me? I don't want to do this anymore. This is not working out. Trying again with new information. Every founder you admire has cried over something that did not work. You're not behind, you're just in the part of the story most people don't post. Now, I want to talk about something I've seen over and over again. The founders who move faster rarely do it alone, and how accountability and mentorship plays a huge part in expediting your business journey. It does not remove all the challenges. Having the right mentor or having the right accountable partner shorten the learning curve, help you see the blind spots before they become expensive mistakes, and give you a place to process the emotional roller coaster. Think of it like a sounding board. If you are really stuck or not feeling that great, you can pick up the phone and call that person, and then boom, you are in the right mindset, right place, and ready to go again. It's a difference between Googling every answer at 2 a.m. versus having someone you can ask, is this normal? What should I do next? What do you think? You don't need to have it all figured out to ask for help. You just need to decide that you are worth backing with support and not just the willpower. Now, when you're building something that you love from scratch and you have to still figure things out, it's easy to let it become everything. You say, I'll just work a bit more. I'll answer this message. Let me work on the weekends as well. Oh, a couple of hours here, a couple of hours. You are not giving yourself a rest and you feel constantly exhausted, irritable, or resentful sometimes. And it's a very hard thing to create from a place of vision and joy. And so you need to have boundaries in place. So healthy boundaries might look like this: setting specific hours and actually stopping. Have a hard stop during the day or within a week, and include some self care days. Doing something you love. Taking whole days off when you don't touch your brand. Saying no to opportunities that don't align even if they're flattering. Protecting your creative energy from people or environments that drain you. You're not a machine that prints out designs and content on demand. You're the foundation of your brand. If you crumble, if you're not in the right mindset, everything else will feel challenging and shaky. So stay motivated when you are slow or low. And there will be seasons. You have a quiet month, maybe your audience is not growing. And in those moments, you'll be thinking, what's the point? I don't want to do this. This is such a silly idea. Everybody else is doing better than I am. And maybe I should just stop. But slow sales do not automatically mean you give up. Look closer, see what's working, what messaging is working. Do people understand the way I'm showing up, my brand? Am I talking to the right audience with a consistent message? Do I need to tweak my product or positioning or pricing? Reflect and then refine it with small iteration. You will get there. Do not quit when it gets tough. If you can keep showing up during the quiet periods with honesty and intention, you will build resilience that will carry you through that next growth spurt. A lot of people start their brand like a hobby. They would love to do it, but that's like a secondary thing for them. And this is a big one. There's nothing wrong with having a creative hobby. But if you want your brand to get established and you build a real business and you want to create that's meaningful to you, your mindset has to shift. Hobby mindsets will say, I'll work on it when I'm feeling inspired. If it doesn't work quickly, I'll just move on. Or sometimes we'll say, I don't really need to look at my numbers because I really believe in what I'm doing. A business mindset says, I'll show up even on the days I don't feel like it. I look at my analytics, what is working, reflecting on what's working and what you can improve on. You are willing to do the unglamorous tasks like emails, spreadsheets, planning, because they support your dream. And you will closely look at your numbers, not to beat yourself about it, but to make better decisions. You don't have to become a robot, but you need to respect your brand enough to treat it like something real, not an experiment. And your daily habits becomes a part of the mindset shift in which you're doing things in an intentional way. It's the small things that you do daily. Some simple habits that may help you is check-in time. So for example, 5 to 10 minutes, ask yourself, what are the 3 things that you actually will move your brand forward today? At the end of the day, list what went well and what you have learned and what is the one thing that you're proud of. Look at people through podcasts, the books, or if you come across somebody inspiring, and expand your perspective about working through your business challenges and move. The one thing that I always say, and I've covered this in my book as well, where moving yourself, getting up in the morning, giving yourself few minutes to really reset and set your intention for the day. Your brain can't be creative if your body is not moving in a positive way. These aren't about being perfectly productive. They're about the things that we do on daily basis, small things. They're about supporting a version of you who believes my dream is worth the effort, and so am I. So invest in yourself and create an environment that is positive, that is uplifting and inspiring for you to continue that intention to run a successful business every single day. So as you listen to this, notice where are you being hard on yourself in a way that doesn't actually help you grow? Where are the perfectionism, imposter syndrome, or comparison quietly running the show and keeping you down where you need inspiration, you need that push? And where do you feel ready for a different kind of support? You don't have to fix your mindset before you're allowed to build your brand. Mindset and action grow together. You also don't have to do this alone. Inside Build the Dream Brand and through my mentoring, We don't just look at your designs and strategies. We also look at the stories you're telling yourself, the fears that keep you stuck, the patterns that show up in your decisions. And together, we build not just a stronger brand, but a stronger founder behind it. If that resonates with you, you'll find a link in the show notes where you can download a free founder mindset journal prompts, research to support you through the ups and downs, or you can download a book, Unstuck, where I talk about the ways you can create a perfectly positive environment so that you can grow intentionally, or book a call with me and we'll explore what you need practically and emotionally, and even if it's a sounding board to keep going. You're allowed to build this dream in a way that honors your nervous system, your humanity, your vision. Wherever you are right now at the idea stage with samples in your first launch or scaling up, I want you to know this. You're not behind, you're not alone, and your dream is still worth building. Thank you for joining me for this episode of The Good, Bad, and the Ugly of Building the Brand. If you've been listening to the series, in the next episode, we'll explore the exact method of validating a fashion concept using only your phone and social media before committing any money to manufacturing or stock. Until next time, keep taking small steps and keep going and keep building.